Okay, so this thing looks like a BC Rich Mockingbird. It has that shape. It's got the cloud inlays. But this is definitely not BC Rich. It's got a K on there, so I'm going to do some research, try to print some stuff up so we can talk about exactly who made this guitar. But I'm pretty sure that this is a possibly made in Japan, possibly made in China version of a BC Rich Mockingbird. I think the body might be a little bit thinner than BC Rich. The bridge is very unique here, though, because it does have, it looks like Gibson, where all you have are the little thumb wheels where you can adjust it. So a lot of these imported bridges, they have the piece on each side where you can stick a slotted screwdriver in there, like a straight edge screwdriver, to make these adjustments. But this one has the thumb wheels, so, and kind of a weird knob. I don't know if it came with that, but I'm going to do some research and kind of see what I can find. And one thing that I did notice is the pickup ring right here looks broken, so I'm going to pull the strings off of here. I want to kind of see if this is the stock pickup. If I had something that matched better, I think the guitar would look a lot better. We're gonna investigate and see what kind of pickup this is, if it belongs in here. If I have another cream pickup of some sort, it looks like just a double slug pickup. And I'm gonna try to get this thing going good. The fret ends are kind of rough. And so here we go. Let's get started. Okay, let's test the electronics here. Very nice. Seems like that's functioning properly. I love that when you get a guitar and it works right off the bat. Alright, so let me go ahead and we will pull the strings off of this thing. I got my Ernie Ball string winder. So the bottom button here, it's a two-way switch. Bottom button tightens, top button loosens. Doesn't matter what guitar you're on. And I just cut them. Throw those babies in the trash. Okay, let's take this off here. So if we're lucky, we'll see some sort of markings or something somewhere on this guitar that gives us a little heads up on where it came from. Don't see anything on that. Oh, it's got the little wire. So this looks like, it really does look like Gibson because it just has the thumb wheels. This knob is super weird. So I did a little bit of, I was confused about these pickups. Shouldn't they match? But I did find a photo of a guitar that was on, it was on Reverb or somewhere. It was on the interwebs. And here's one of them. And this was out of Russia, I believe. And it looks just exactly the same. So this pickup is going to just stay in here. It's got a broken pickup ring though, so I'm going to look around and see if I can find a pickup ring that fits in that. And if I have one and it fits, it's going to be a good day. And I have a lot of pickup rings, so I'm hopeful right now that I'm going to get one that fits in there. This condition of this one, it is a consignment piece that I am restringing. You know, it'd be kind of interesting to maybe ohm these pickups out, just to kind of see what happens with their ohm meter on how hot they are. Because I have a feeling, for some reason, that this bridge pickup is going to be super hot. So let me get my ohm meter. That might be fun. Okay, so the way I do this is just plug a cable in here and make sure that the volume's all the way up and you have it down in the bridge position on the three-way switch. And then I just kind of hold the ground here. .68. That's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. Let's go up into the neck position. 8.36. So pretty equally matched pickups. They look way different from each other. To me, it's not a very good look, but I would rather see a match set, you know. But I think they're trying to give you the impression that this is a super hot, like a blackout EMG or something. I think that's what they're going for here. Yeah, this thing is broken up pretty good. Okay, so I got my drawer out of random pickup rings. So this one, it's in pieces, but it's a very sort of a thin one, so this one's a little bit bigger. All I have to do is really see if the holes are going to match up. I'm almost thinking that this first one I pulled out of here is going to do it. Let's just see if I put a toothpick down in one of these holes. Hey, there we go. So I think this first one that I picked is going to be good. I don't know if there's going to be anything else that would be better than that. I don't want to go cream. Cream would probably look better. But yeah, a lot of the ones I have in here are big, thick ones. And when it has an arch like this, you know, it's for an arch top Gibson, right? Where this is flat. So I kind of think that first one that I found is the good one. This one's nice and shiny. This has more of a flat finish, so it does look good against the flat finish of the pickguard. But this one is glossy. It's weird how it's not drilled in here even. You see where this bottom screw is? Way down here, and on this one it's down here, so you'd think that that screw hole would be down further. So it's kind of and it'd be, the front would be right here. Sometimes this is the hardest thing to do, is to get something to fit. It's crooked. It's really screwed in here crooked. That's maybe why it broke. This is, again, this bottom hose screwed in there. Maybe I'm looking at it weird, but I think I'm going to go with this one. So I'm just going to take my file, and this side of it I have kind of smoothed out. I took an old file and I actually made a little handle. I had some redwood, or I had some a little piece of mahogany. But I'm just going to kind of go like this and just sort of very gently hit some of these edges. There we go. That's helping a lot right there. So I'm just going to do that just to get a little bit of that fret sprout off of here. And you want to make sure not to mess up the binding on here. So you got to kind of be sort of delicate with it. But a little bit does a lot. This guitar does have those really famous cloud inlays from a BC Rich, and they feel really nice and smooth on here. Is it a sticker? No, it's not a sticker. Looks good. I wish I could come across one of those old BC Riches. That'd be really fun to come across one of those things. I had a Japanese BC Rich one time, and I do a lot of I can come across a lot of the Platinum series and even the Bronze series ones, and I really do enjoy those guitars. Taking a little tiny bit of 1000 grit and just kind of rubbing along the edge right here a little bit. Trying not to destroy the binding. Feels pretty good. Take my fretboard guard, and I just use a little tiny bit of like 1000 grit sandpaper, and this just again gets the top layer of crud off of here and gives them a nice little shine without taking any meat or material off the actual fret. Just trying to give them a little shine, get the dirt off of them. Sometimes you can kind of roll over the edge like right here and try to get the edge of them really good. Got a little bit of fret wear on here, but overall these frets are in great condition. So I'm thinking that this is 24 frets. So you got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 frets. And then I've got a little tiny bit of lemon oil. Put some of this on here. And kind of just let this soak in a little bit. There we go. K Garage guitar. There's not a lot of these out there. If you're a fan of the BC Rich or a collector, these are fun for the collectors. Just going to throw a little bit of furniture polish on here. And this guitar's in great shape. I don't need to get the buffer out and do any of that. I don't see any chips in it. A little tiny bit right here. Looks like somebody took maybe a little marker or something and put a little dab of some pink on there. Pink guitars. Who would have thought? Some people just don't like them at all. Some people have no problem playing a pink guitar. Some people think they're cool. And I'm kind of with the people that think they're cool. There's no sense on getting my buffer out or anything like that because this thing is clean. The only thing I really don't like about it is this knob right here. That's a weird looking knob. but it's functioning perfectly. And so sometimes, you know, sometimes it's better not to mess with things. Just spray some polish on here and polish it up. And it's got kind of a neat back carve right here. There's no neck plate. So on a real BC Rich, you would see there would be a neck plate right here, or they have the string through BC Riches, but pretty cool. Shined up really nice. It is a Les Paul 24 3/4 inch scale length. So I'm going to put 10 gauge strings on it. So, and then once the strings are on there, then I'll have to make some adjustments to that. Yeah, so let's string up this K-Garage. Real first though, we're going to snug these down a little bit. Okay, the high E one is a little freaking out a little bit on us here. So the screw is kind of loose. Hopefully it's still functioning. I've seen these where they strip out. There we go, that's snuck down good. Okay, that's looking better. Let's see if the top here will actually tighten nicely. I've seen these where they strip out. Yeah, this whole thing's turning, isn't it? Yeah, it's still working, but it's a little, this thing, they're probably cheap tuners, but it could use a new set of tuners. These are kind of, I would call these sort of like Grover, imported Grovers. You know, the thing is, a lot of guys though, they'll buy a new guitar, and like myself, I'm guilty of the same thing. We'll do upgrades. So this one could stand. It wouldn't hurt nothing to put some new tuners on it. These are functioning, but you know, some of them are a little moving around a little bit, and they could be upgraded. Okay, today's string choice, my favorite brand, Ernie Ball regular Slinky 10 through 46. I was just at the NAMM show and I spent some time at the Ernie Ball booth, and you know, one thing that was a little bit different at NAMM this year is usually at the Ernie Ball booth, they have a stage. They have a little tiny stage in there, and they'll have a big old a thing outside where they write down who's going to be performing at the Ernie Ball booth. That's the one thing that happened at NAMM this year that was a little bit rough. We didn't have any special performances by anybody. Like the Ernie Ball booth, it used to be, you know, you'd go there a couple of years ago, and performing on their stage at noon would be like, they'd go from Rob Chapman, Jared Dines, and then at 3 o'clock it'd be, you know, Fluff, Riffs and Beards, and then you'd get Paul Gilbert would show up, and you'd have performances all day long. And this year at NAMM, basically none of that was happening. So it was a little disheartening to be at the NAMM show and not be able to run into, you know, Paul Gilbert and everybody. I'm not saying they wasn't there. It's just that I didn't see them. And so it was kind of a bummer, the NAMM show this year. But I made a vlog video that you guys might want to go back. It was just last weekend. But you guys might want to go back and look through some of the NAMM footage that I was able to do. Okay, I'm going to just set these sort of kind of somewhere here and come back to the height after I get it all strung up. Then I'll make some height adjustments with the bridge. So this guitar is a K Garage guitar. I'm gonna guess it's from the 90s. And I already know that it's a copy of a BC Rich Mockingbird. I think it might be made by Fernandez, but don't quote me on that. But they're reasonably priced guitars. And they're hard to come by. So if you're a BC Rich collector, and you know, it's not BC Rich, but if you're a obsessive BC Rich collector, and you know, like to have something like this in your collection, they're kind of cool because they're rare. And BC Rich probably, who knows, they might have done a cease and desist order at one time, but you never know. But kind of a cool collector's piece. There's dumber things in the world that you could collect than guitars. It's kind of a fun hobby because you could add this guitar to your collection, and then in, you know, if you take care of it in 10 or 20 years, you can sell it, and you might even make a profit on this thing. Yeah, a lot of people collect guitars as an investment. And it's fun to have a good guitar collection. A lot of times your guys, your wives aren't too happy about a whole house full of guitars. Sometimes that happens, but you know, it's kind of the same with us men. Sometimes we wouldn't want to go home and see our house full of women's shoes or something, right? Or purses or something. Or things that women collect, you know, little trinkets or something. Dolls. That's a creepy collection when you go into somebody's house and they collect dolls, porcelain dolls, creepy dolls. Yeah, that gets creepy. Or puppets. That can get creepy. Okay, we're going to hope that this tuner isn't going to malfunction. Seems like it's okay. So I kind of stretch the strings out just by holding one hand over here and kind of tugging up on this, and this will kind of stretch these strings out. And I don't want to break the nut, so you don't tug on the strings without holding the strings down, because you'll break the nut. It'll come right out. So just tug on these wound strings a couple of times. Your high strings, like your E and your B string, you don't want to tug on those too much because you'll break the string. But the low E string and the A string and the D string, you can definitely give them a little tug. And then when you go to tune them, see, that I just stretched a whole half a step out of that string. And then a lot of times I even kind of do the old Iron Man thing right here, just to make sure that the string is traveling through the nut nicely. Because this part of the string stretches too. Alright, so this thing is all strung up. I've tuned it. This is K Garage. BC Rich ripoff, right? Super fun guitar. It's rare. You don't see these things out in the world, especially here in the United States. The average guy would say that is definitely a BC Rich Mockingbird, but they put the big old K on there for the K Garage. It was a fun guitar to work on. The pickup ring went on really nicely, and everything about it plays and sounds great. So there you guys have it. Thank you so much for watching. Go buy a guitar.